everyone, and welcome to John Talks Indian Cinema. I am your very humble host, the Indian Cine-MANIAC, back with a very special 10-ish-minute review. Why? Why is it special, you ask? Well, as of 2 days ago, this channel has achieved 1,500 subscribers.
Thank you very much.
Phone the neighbors, wake the kids. Right now, I am at 1,503 subscribers, thanks to all of you. And for those who aren't aware of this channel started August 25th, 2024, so less than a year ago. And I was on another channel that had almost 4,000 subscribers. So when I decided to do my own thing, I went to zero. And as you know how it works, you can't get a lot of subscribers. YouTube doesn't push the channel out when you don't have any subscribers. And Cooley Singh was one of the first subscribers. I think he was, if not the first, one of the first 5 to subscribe. He watched the old channel, he subscribes in this one, and he's always giving me ideas of what I should be doing to build the channel. And I really appreciate that. Because of that, I'm going to watch a film that he recommended. Actually, he recommended it a long time ago, and he's been busting me to watch it. And the film is Gadar 2, the sequel to Gadar, which also Cooley Singh recommended. Now, Cooley, I have to warn you, this review might not go the way you want it to go before I even get into this. But I do want to say to everybody how much I appreciate the 1,500 subscribers. It's a big deal. When you're a small channel like this and started with nothing, and it's kind of a, a guy from Massachusetts reviewing Indian films. But it's been pretty amazing. Everything that's come from it, the relationships that I've developed with some of the viewers out there, it's incredible. And then I tell you the anecdotes of when I meet people who are from India or wherever, and I bring up what I do on this podcast, and all of a sudden they start asking me questions about films, and I've seen a bunch of them. I can talk about the actors. It's been amazing, and I'm learning a lot now. I don't know how long I'm gonna be able to do this. Who knows? I'm enjoying it now, and you guys seem to like it. And I've got 200 recommendations. I wish I could do them all in a week. It's impossible. I'm doing the best I can, but I just sincerely I want to thank you for sticking with this and maybe sharing some of the videos and also giving me ideas. Look, the trailer reactions that came from you guys. I wasn't really doing that, and that seems to generate subscribers because they're short. And I get it. The other ones are longer. I totally get that. But you also tell me to do like a lot of Malayalam films I've been doing, and they seem to be resonating a little bit. So I'm not just doing Bollywood. And again, I just want you to know how much I appreciate that. I truly do appreciate that. And it's been such a fun ride. And we're going to keep going strong. Okay. I got the sign. What am I going to do? If I stop doing this, what am I going to do with the sign? John Talks Indian Cinema. I mean, what can I do? So anyway, let's talk about Gadar 2. So this is a film that came out in 2023, the sequel. It's directed by Anil Sharma, who directed the original Gadar Ek Prem Katha. He also directed Apne. The cast, of course, Cooley, Sunny Deol. Cooley is a huge Sunny Deol fan. Again, playing Tara Singh. He was in Ghayal, Gadar, the first one, and Jaat, most recently that I've seen him in. Ameesha Patel, who was also in Gadar, reprising her role. And I do have to say this about her. So this movie, the original movie came out, I think is it 20 years? I think it's 20 years or 19, something like that, since the original came out. And even though they definitely shot her a little gauzy to make her look younger, I have to say that she looked pretty great in this. Now, I will also say that she was pretty wasted in this film compared to the first film. She really didn't have much to do other than be distressed about her husband becoming a prisoner of war, her son becoming a prisoner of war. So there was a lot of that stuff. Okay, but I'd have to say she looked beautiful. Utkarsh Sharma, who plays Jite, who played Jite in the first film, which I didn't know. So that was pretty cool. And he was okay. He wasn't great. Simrat Kaur Randawa, beautiful by the way. I've never seen her in anything. And I think an excellent bad guy was Manish Wadhwa, who was in Pathaan and Deva, who was really a good bad guy. Now, a couple things. So, Utkarsh Sharma becomes the first actor who plays an adult role after playing the same role as a child in the prequel of the same movie franchise. Gadar 2, and I read the reviews on this afterwards. And while some reviews were brutal, ones, a lot loved this movie. I mean, loved it. I did not love it, but I certainly would not have given it a one. I mean, it was way better than that. I really don't understand that. But this is also happens to be it made it. Sonny Deol was the first a new record of his films, and he was 66 when he filmed this. He became the first 60-year lead actor whose film collected 100 crores at the box office. And by the way, he was great in this. He's intense. Now, I did have a problem with the fact that for almost 30 minutes he wasn't in the film. And I was like, what's going on? Is this going to be about the kid more than about Tara Singh? It's set during the 1971 Indo-Pak War, and it takes place 24 years after the events of the first film. And that doesn't make any sense because there's another thing here. It says 1971. There was a credit at the beginning, 17 years after the first film story. So I'm not sure about the math here. Okay, so let's get into the story. The story is about Tara Singh, who is helping the military. He's got his life married to Sakina, and they have Jite, their son, who they think he's in college studying to go in the military, when actually he wants to be an actor. And there were a lot of callback, and I'm not, you know what, I don't want to do a complete, like I always do, a complete recap of the film, but there were a lot of callbacks to the first film in flashbacks. But the opening scene, the entrance of Tara Singh was the same entrance as in the first film. He jumps out of the truck. He's delivering something, and his buddy in the back, it's actually his buddy's kid from the first film. So they recreated that scene that I thought was cute. And it was nice to see some of that. The callbacks to the first film, including, the bad guy hung, what's his name? Puri. And they did use CGI for that, put the face on the body for the revenge. But the story is how during the Indy-Pak War, and this is also a film, Cooley, that is there's really no two sides to the war in this film. This is a very pro-India film, which I have no problem with, but it is super pro-India, super anti-Pakistan. Like, most of the Pakistani people are just evil. And the head bad guy, he plays Hamid Iqbal, Iqbal. He's just like evil incarnate, you know. So through circumstance, and the action scenes in this were really good, and he Sonny Deol was really good in the action scenes, and there were some big action scenes. In fact, the first one where they supposedly kill him, and there's going to be spoilers in this, but it's 2 years old, so most people have probably already seen it. But at one point, he's delivering ammunition to the Indian Army on the border or close to the border, and he gets blown up. So you think he gets killed or captured, which didn't actually happen. But that whole scene, big explosions, cars flipping over. Of course, he gets out of the car, and that's a theme throughout this movie too. That and this isn't a criticism, but These films where it's one guy against an army with rifles and nobody hits him ever. Sometimes that's a little tough. The other thing they do in the action scenes, not so much the stunts, but the fighting. There's so much slow motion in this movie. I mean, there's a ton of it. And I know, Cooley, before you jump down my throat, I know that a lot of these films they do that. But there was a lot. Like, I mean, they're walking. They're not fighting and it's slow motion. It was a little overkill. And I'm sure part of it, look, he's 66 years old. He can't move like he used to. I get that. But they were doing it with the kid too, who's much younger. So, so what happens is in this film, and it's the opposite of the first film, where he has to get her out of Pakistan. Well, the son has to get Tara Singh out of Pakistan because that's where he think he is. But then he finds out he isn't. So then Tara Singh has to get his son out of Pakistan. Then they get separated. So he's got to save him again. So the film is those two saving each other, and the mother's home crying the whole time. Okay, that's really what's going on here. So, so the story, Cooley, was okay. It was to me, it was too much of a rehash of the first film. The whole plot line of getting them out of Pakistan. So I gave the story a two. Again, that doesn't mean I didn't like the story, but it was the same story as the first one. And there were a few other things. Let me see. I took a look at. You can see all the notes I took. Uh, they celebrate Eid, which I didn't know what that was, so I had to look it up. It's the end of Ramadan, and they celebrate it in Pakistan. Um, let's see. Oh, okay. So they do this big scene where the son is tortured and beat up, and they bring him to. I don't know what you. I don't know if it's a palace, but it's whatever this big building is with the steps. It was from the first film, so there's a callback to the first film, and there's I don't know how many people there were in the scene, but people were everywhere, and it was a callback to the first film. And that's when Tara Singh comes walking through the crowd to save his son. And Hamid's like, I'm going to get you, I'm going to get you. And then there's a giant fight with smoke everywhere as he's trying to save his son. And there was another scene that I actually found it funny. Um, a mob is after Tara Singh because now they're trying to get out of Pakistan. Um, so at one point they get separated. So he's in the middle of the street. All of a sudden, this giant mob is after him. And they show it from the mob's perspective, right? All of a sudden, the mob just kind of stops and like wide eyed. And you don't know why. Then the camera pulls back, and you see next to Tara Singh is the water pump. And of course, in the first film, he yanked it out of the ground and used it as a weapon. So, in this time, the mob is there. They're wide eyed. He turns around to go down to pull it. They all start running the other way because they remembered it from the first film. So he actually didn't pull it out, and then it fades to black. I thought that was great. And then to me, the best action scene, although there were a few times where they had the green screen background, you could tell it was obvious, but it looked like they did a lot of stuff practical, and it was really a tank chase scene as they're heading to the Pakistan Indian border. I think it was Lahore. That was a great scene, great action. He's jumping from one tank to the other. They're throwing grenades inside. Really, really well done. Big. This was probably one, even though I wasn't crazy about it, I really liked the action. I would have liked to have seen this in the movie theater. And then the ending, which was pretty, you know it was going to happen, but he gives an impassioned speech at the end about India and Pakistan, Hindustan, how we should all get along because there are Pakistanis in India, and in fact, his wife is from Pakistan. She's a Muslim, and then in Pakistan, there's Indian people too. So he gives a really powerful speech, and I can just imagine if you're Indian and you're listening to this, very patriotic. And the bad guy's a coward, and he's like, "Don't kill me, don't kill me." And of course, he gets knocked down and there's a gun on the ground and he picks it up and the Indian army shoots him. I mean, blows him away. But that was pretty. You see that coming a mile away. Um, in fact, that scene he makes him choose between the Quran and Gita, and he chooses Gita to protect himself. And Tara sings like, "Why couldn't you just say India? It doesn't have to be one or the other. Why can't we exist together?" So there was an attempt at the end to bring the two warring factions together, but it was very pro-India, very anti-Pakistan. At least my take on it. And that doesn't bother me. I mean, it's a very patriotic movie, and if you're from India, you got to love that. So as far as the performances go, I got to be honest with you. I thought Sunny Deol was the best thing in the film. I really did like the bad guy. Um, he was cartoonishly bad, right? He even had that mustache, like you're waiting for him to twirl it. But Sunny Deol, um, he's just, and Cooley and I have just talked about this, that he's really an action star, and he is. But in this film, he played a lot of different things. But compared to everyone else, he's just better than everyone else. Now they have a great chemistry, him and Amisha, which comes through in the beginning of the film that they really love each other, from the first film. But she had so much more to do in the first film. In this film, she just didn't have anything to do. Um, his son was okay. He went from being like this guy that wants to be an actor to like a super soldier. After getting beat up and shot, and that was the other thing logistically. There's a scene, and Cooley, maybe you can explain this to me because I didn't get this. He's in the middle of a street. He gets shot in the arm, hits the ground, and then the next scene is Tara Singh looking for his son, and then finds him hiding somewhere. So, like, who shot him? Why didn't they go after him when he was laying down in the street? I didn't understand that. There was some things logistically that didn't make a lot of sense to me. Like even when they were escaping in a van, Tara, his son, and the son's girlfriend, all of a sudden the whole Pakistani army shows up. Like, how did they even know they were going there? No explanation of that. But the performances, I really thought he was great. And Cooley, if you're gonna, because I got a little worried because it seemed almost because there's a section of this film that he's not in at all, and it was all about the kid. And I was like, okay, so this movie is a handoff to the kid, and I wasn't really into that because I thought this was a Sunny Deol film. Well, obviously it is a Sunny Deol film because once he comes back, it's all him. I thought he was great. So because of that, Cooley, I'm going to give the performances a 4 because of him and the bad guy. Everyone else was okay. It was fine, not great. Okay. Now, as far as the music, and there was a lot of music in this. Does anything leap out at me as far as remembering songs? Not really, but they were, like the first song. His wife asks him because remember in the first film they fell in love when he was on stage singing, and in this film she asked him to sing her a song, and he grabs it. I don't know what the instrument's called. I should know this, but I don't. Let me know what it is in the comment section. And he starts singing a love song to her, "Fly Away, Oh Bird," and that was nice to show their life together now that after the events of the first film. So I like that. The second song was at a birthday party for Jaat, where he gets a motorcycle. And that was a big number, very colorful, and it was called "I See Out on My Vehicle." And it was a great number, very colorful, very visual. So that one I liked. The third song, she's singing about coming back, about Tara and the son coming back to her, and this is a song that is reprised throughout the film. It's called "Come Home, Oh Beloved Traveler." In fact, they even played it at the closing credits, and it's a nice song. The fourth song, Jite, to get to the Pakistani prison, gets into Pakistan pretty easily, I might add, which I found a little strange, but learns how to cook to get to the jail as a cook with this family that does the food for the jail. And the song is a montage of one, him learning how to cook, but two, falling in love with her name was Muskan. She was beautiful, by the way. I've never seen her in anything. Very, very pretty girl. Woman. I'm sorry, woman. And it was My Heart Sways, It Sways. That's the name of the song. The fifth song, he confesses to her that he's not. He says, I can't remember what the name was, but he tells her who he really is and why he's there. And she just says, "Look me in the eye and tell me you're not an Indian spy, that you're here just to get your father." Um, and that song was Let's Fall in Love with You. The sixth song, Tara now is back in India and he finds out his son is in Pakistan. So now he's going to cross the border again, very easily, I might add. And the song is Hear My Wishes. He just wants to get his son back, similar to the first film. Seventh song is when they actually reunite and they find each other. And again, the one they keep reprising is about home, come home, oh traveler. And the final song is the reprise of that song as they show them coming back to mother and wife. Beautiful moment, and that was a nice song. So the music, you know me, didn't help, didn't hurt. I gave the music a three. So, sorry. So Cooley, I don't think I liked it nearly as much as you. I thought the first film was a lot better. I will say the action in this was better than the first film, but the story was just okay. And the kid, the young guy, I thought he was just all right because there's a lot of I found a lot of melodramatic moments in this film, typical of 90s Hindi cinema, not contemporary stuff. And there was quite a bit of that, a little overacting, you know. But overall, I'm going to give it a three. I really do like Sonny Deal Cooley. I just want you to know that. I'd like to see him in some other stuff, not necessarily the old stuff. Like I just, two of the movies I think I already mentioned this. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I did. The two movies I'm going to watch next are Awara from 1951, Raj Kapoor, Nargis, but Dar, which I've already seen, um, with Sunny Deol and Shah Rukh Khan, and I could understand Sunny Deol wasn't too happy with this film because, frankly, it was Shah Rukh Khan's film, and it's a much flashier role than Sunny Deol. Sunny Deol was fine in it, but it's Shah Rukh Khan's film. So you can hear my review on that later on. So I do like him, and overall I thought the film was pretty good. So it kept my interest. I was invested. It just felt a lot like the first one. So Cooley, that's my review of Gadar 2. So I hope I didn't disappoint you. But again, I do want you, especially Cooley. I know you got some stuff going on. You've hit a rough patch, but I want you to know how much, even as you're going through that stuff, you're still on the channel. You're still commenting because people don't comment. I don't know why. I get 1,000 views and I get 6 comments, and I tell everybody, comment, say something, whatever. And he always says like, "Hi, John," just as a comment. It makes it different on the algorithm. And I'd be okay with that. You want to just say hi, John? Go ahead. Obviously, I want recommendations too. And by the way, when you give me a recommendation, I write them down. And what I do is I look them up. Can I stream them? Are they available with English subtitles? Do I have to watch them on YouTube with auto-generated subtitles, which is awful? I'm just telling you. Oh, by the way, Cooley, I got to show you something. So this film, it was only available with English subtitles with hearing the people who do the sign language. So in the bottom right hand corner of the screen, the whole movie, someone was there the whole time. I have to say though, I really didn't find that distracting because you're reading the subtitles. You're not focusing on that. You're looking at the screen. You're looking at the subtitles. But that's how I had to watch it. So that's why I showed you the picture. So Cooley, okay, all right. So again, I want to thank everybody for subscribing to the channel. And you know what? If you're new to the channel, subscribe, hit the notification button, hit the like button, and please share. And comments are welcome. Please, I love the back and forth with you guys. I try to respond to everybody. It's not hard because not a lot of you comment. I wish you did. But anyway, so that's it. Thanks again, everybody. Really, especially you guys that are really loyal, and every time you're commenting, you give recommendations, you give me advice because I want the channel to get bigger and bigger. 1,500 was my goal. My next goal is going to be 2,000. That might take another year. I don't know. Who knows? Unless I get viral, maybe something will go viral. So that's it. Thank you for watching John Talks Indian Cinema, and we'll see you soon with either a 10-ish minute trailer reaction or a 10 to 25-ish minute review. And as always, thank you. Thank you so much for watching the channel.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. That's the nice thing.